Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's video. It's about borderline personality disorder and a major component of that, which is identity disturbance. So I'm going to get into identity disturbance and how it correlates with borderline personality disorder. Before I do, I'd appreciate it if you could, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, vote up or down, comment down below, share this video. Thank you very much. So I'm going to get into identity disturbance, and I want all of you guys to know that this isn't borderline. All borderlines may not deal with identity disturbance a whole lot. I mean, it's like a spectrum. It's a diagnostic criteria, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every borderline suffers from this. Okay? And it doesn't mean if you suffer from this that you have borderline personality disorder. I want to make that very clear. Okay? I'm talking specifically about identity disorder, how it correlates to people with borderline personality disorder. All right? So, identity disturbance, inability to maintain one or more major components of your identity. This can be linked to emotional dysregulation, which is a major component of borderline personality disorder. So this is, identity disturbance is actually a diagnostic trait for borderline. It's in the DSM-5. It says markedly and persistently unstable self-image or sense of self. And also the syndrome of identity disturbance is not, or is encountered in all personality disorder types, okay? All 10 of them. So it's like a spectrum they're all on somewhat, because that's kind of criteria for personality disorder. Lack of awareness, identity disturbance. So one aspect of this, and what a lot of researchers will say, is that borderlines inhibit emotions, which causes numbness or emptiness. Feelings of emptiness is another diagnostic trait for borderline. Some researchers say it's because they leap from one moment to next without continuity or narrative identity. Think of roles that we play, that we have in life, right? Maybe a woman could be a mother, could be a wife, could have a job where they're maybe a teacher, something like this. And I'm going to get into impulsivity, not being able to regulate emotions, feeling unstable emotionally, which can cause impulsivity, fast making quick decisions, compulsively even, which can hurt your life. I mean, think of it's real common for borderlines to maybe move around a lot, to start and stop relationships quickly, to not maintain work. So if this is your identity, right? If a woman is a mother and a wife and a teacher, think about how that feels if you quickly, all of a sudden, out of fear of abandonment, files for divorce, picks up, leaves the house, gone, quits her job, and leaves her children behind with the father. That's a common thing that borderlines might do. Okay? Black and white thinking, splitting, very common personality trait or behavior that people with BPD may have. And that can cause that kind of compulsive behavior, impulsive behavior to start and stop relationships, quit your job, things like this. Think about maybe a man and think about if a man identifies with their job, their career, and their family. So a man is a husband, a father, and say they're a police officer. But say that man steals at work, say that man cheats on his wife, and say that man abuses his children. So I am a police officer, a father, and a husband. That could cause major identity disturbance. In narcissism, in narcissistic men, that's very common. Also very common in people with antisocial personality disorder. Think of the person, with borderline that says, I'm ugly. I mean, how many of us have seen just really beautiful women that just, no matter what, they're ugly. I'm so ugly, I'm so ugly. And maybe not just a call for attention or validation or reassurance. It's just, I'm ugly. And it's maybe not just a self-worth issue. I feel ugly. No, I am ugly. Okay, but 10 out of 10 says you're beautiful. 10 out of 10 people says you're really pretty. Yeah, but I'm ugly. I'm totally ugly. No, look at my nose. Look at my, I mean, I've seen this where it's just like, they really, truly believe they're one of the ugliest people on the planet and they're gorgeous. Or I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm so dumb. I'm so fat. And they're skinny. And it's, like I said, it's not just someone that does that doesn't necessarily mean they're borderline. You know, they may just want attention. I know I've seen many women, and I'm sure you guys have too. I hate to just pick on women, but women, you know, constantly being negative about their appearance just for you to say, oh no, you're gorgeous, you're pretty. Oh, thanks. No, I'm talking about somebody who buys a size 9, but they're really size 5. What's going on? It's how they see themselves, their self-image. So a major component of this would be dissociation. Dissociation, a defense mechanism. This can develop into dissociative disorders where you may have problems with memory, identity, emotion, perception, behavior, self, or sense of self. So, dissociation, get into that for just a minute. You may experience depersonalization, detached from your body or your mind. Derealization, detached from the world. Out-of-body experience, heart is pounding, lightheaded, different person sometimes, emotionally numb or detached, little or no pain physically. Altered sense of time, can't remember how you got somewhere, tunnel vision, voices in your head, intense flashbacks seem real, become immobile, absorbed in fantasy, in the fantasy world, not reality. Some of the symptoms. I mean, can you see how that would cause identity disturbance? A real lack of self, sense of self. So I have my emotional needs. Imagine a borderline person that doesn't know what they really emotionally need or want. I don't know what I want. I want this and then I want that. I want this and I want that. Moral values. You can't say I have and value all these morals that counteract and counter everything you do. I value respect, but I verbally abuse you. I value honesty, but I'm keeping secrets from you. See how it kind of goes in other personality disorders? I think a lot of people with borderline personality disorder might also have obsessive-compulsive disorder. At least obsessive-compulsive thoughts and behaviors. Obsessive thoughts on morals. A very common component of OCD. Obsessively thinking about who I am all the time. Am I morally right? Am I morally wrong? Reacting to compulsive and having compulsive behaviors countering who you think you are. I made a mistake. Oh, that was bad. I shouldn't have done that. That's not like me. Imagine living like that all the time. This can lead to depression disorders, addiction disorders, anxiety disorders. Something very common with people that have borderline personality disorder. So maybe this video can help you identify some of these behaviors in another person. Someone, high on this spectrum needs help. Someone high on this spectrum will not be able to have functional, healthy, loving, growing relationships while they're experiencing this. You can be experiencing this and not even have borderline personality disorder. This can get better. Not to give victims false hope that their abuser will get better. Maybe to give people hope that experience this somewhat on the spectrum. People with CPTSD is very likely going to experience these, okay? So I hope nobody out there is self-diagnosing, but identifying your own behaviors in yourself and your partners and your friends and stuff like this. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your experiences. I'd love to hear some examples that you guys have of somebody that's suffering from identity disturbance, or yourself if you've experienced these. I'd love to hear that, and thank you for sharing and being vulnerable. I promise it's safe here. Yeah, thank you. Always ask questions. I'll answer all your questions. And again, thanks for sharing this video. Love yourself first, guys. I'll see you guys again later. Bye.